can call me Hana. My student number is 321-18-0005. And today in this occasion, I would like to become your teacher in the subject of news item text. So, here we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our topic today is about news item text. So, the question is, what is news item text? Well, before we start to discuss about what is news item text and its friends, so I would like you to watch a video.
Om Swastiastu. Namun Sankirti Loka Bali, melalui pola pembangunan serta berencana menuju Bali era baru.
Rumah belajar, rumah belajar, rumah belajar, doa yo. Rumah belajar, belajar asyik bersama rumah belajar.
Hello everybody. Language material that we are going to discuss today is news item text. But before I explain it, I would like to ask you, do you like watching news on TV or reading newspaper? Well, if you like to do all those things, it means that you are familiar with news item text. But what is news item text? Most of the students do not know exactly what it is. And most of them also find difficulties when they are asked to write news item text. Let us start from the definition of news item. News item has its social function to inform readers, listeners, or viewers about events of the day which are considered important and interesting. It means if there is an important event that should be known by many people, then this event deserves news. Well, the news text is called the news item text. However, if there are events that people do not deserve, then they are not definitely worth to be news. Next, in composing news item text, students must know the generic structure of news item text. There are three phases of news item text. First, main events or newsworthy events. It recounts the event in summary form. When established newsworthy events, the headlines should be eye-catching to draw the reader's attention. A good headline is both informative and alluring. The opening paragraph states the most important information of the newsworthy event. What information should be stated in the opening paragraph? The opening paragraph informs readers of important or unique features of an event, subject related to the event, as well as the location and the date. This paragraph simply answers the 5 WH question: what, who, when, where, why, and how. Understanding these requirements, imagine the most suitable headline and introduction paragraph. Second, elaboration or background events. They elaborate what happened, to whom, and in what circumstances. In creating a background event chronologically, the writer should tell the background event of a news story is commonly done after writing the headline news because people want to know why or how the event happened. We tell the readers the sequence of the events in chronological order. But background events do not always tell events in chronological order, but sometimes also explain why the events happen. The last part of generic structure of news item text is resource of information. It contains comments by participants in witnesses to, and authorities expert on the event. Attribution informs you of the source of information, the person being quoted, or the person whose statement is paraphrased. Attribution mentions the source's full name and job title in the first reference. On the next attribution, write only the last name. If the informant has a specific title or rank, mention it before their full name. Well, students, before you start your news item text, there are some specific characteristics of news item text, namely, first, the use of action and saying verb. Next, the use of past tense. Past tense is used in composing news item text because news item text telling about past events. The third one is the use of passive voice. We often see the use of passive sentence in news stories to emphasize the action, not the participant or person who did it. The passive voice is also useful when you don't know who the agent is. For example, a mountainous valley of Inner Mongolia was shaken by a strong earthquake measuring 6.4 on the Richter scale last Friday. And the last characteristic of news item text is the use of adverb to explain time, place, and manner. The example of adverb time, place, and manner is like what is stated in the picture. Well, everybody, that's the end of our lesson today. I hope that the explanation is clear enough and will be beneficial for you.
Okay, well, thanks to watch the video. So let's get started. Well, everybody, in the news item text, we have 4 parts or main points that you need to understand, or I have divided this occasion into 4 parts. The first part is the definition and the purpose of news item text. The second part is the generic structures, and the third is characteristics, and the last but not least is challenge. I have a big challenge for you. So the first is definition and purpose. Here we'll study about the definition and also the purpose of news item text. And the second is generic structures, and here you will study about the generic structures in the news item text. And then the third is characteristics, and here you will study about what are the characteristics of news item text. And the last but not least, it's your turn to receive my challenge and do it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in our first part, or our first part in this occasion, the definition and also the purpose of news item text. So the question is, what is news item text? Based on the video I have given for you, news item text is a text which informs readers about events of the day. For example, maybe today you meet someone in a road when you are going somewhere, and then there is something happened in that time and in the day that you are going to somewhere, and it can be news item text if the accident is important or it's worthy. That's why it can be news item. So it's about to inform readers about events of the day. So, and then the second question is, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of news item text? So, here we go. News item text is used to inform readers about events of the day which are considered newsworthy or important, as I told you before. It must be worthy or important. Okay, well, it's clear enough. And then we are ranked in the second part, the generic structures of news item tags. Well, ladies and gentlemen, news item tags has three generic structures in it. The first is newsworthy, and the second is elaboration or background event, and the third is resource of information or shortly source. The first is newsworthy. It recounts the event in summary form, including what, where, who, why, when, and how. And the second is elaboration or background event. They elaborate what happened to whom in what circumstance. And the last but not least is this resource of information, or shortly can be source. It contains comments by participants in, with witnesses to, and authorities expert on the event. Okay, well, here we go. I have an example for you. The example titled 8 months on, Indonesia loses 161 medical workers to COVID-19. So I have divided these three paragraphs into three parts based on the characteristic of the news items. The first is newsworthy. The Indonesian Medical Association has announced that 161 medical professionals had died of COVID-19 as the country entered its 8 months of the health emergency. The figure comprises 152 doctors and 9 dentists. And the second is elaboration or background event. The IDS data on COVID-19 deaths include 82 practitioners, of whom 4 were also professors and 68 were specialists, as well as 6 professors and 2 resident doctors. Among specialist doctors, internists recorded the highest toll with 9 deaths, followed by surgeons with 7 deaths and obstetrics and gynecologists with 6 deaths. And then the last part is source. From March to October, a total of 161 medical workers have died as a result of COVID-19. Adib Kumaidi, who chairs the ID Central Executive Board's mitigation team, said in a statement on Tuesday. So based on this example, I have divided these news item text into 3 parts based on the characteristic that have given generic structures. They are newsworthy, elaboration, and also the source. I think clear enough. So here we go in the third part in this occasion, that is characteristics. So we are going to learn about the characteristics in news item tags. Here we go. The first is using action verb and saying verb. The second, using past tense. This is because newsworthy is the news that has happened. So it should use past tense, right? And the third is using passive voice. It usually using passive voice for, I think, the source one, because it's telling, like telling what was said by the source or someone that has given the information. And the third is using verb to explain time, place, and manner. It's sure in news item tags it should be verb that explain time, place, and also manner. So here the 4 characteristics of news items tags: using action verb and saying verb. The second is using past tense, and then using passive voice, and also using verb to explain time, place, and also manner. So everybody, we have arrived in the last part of this occasion, this is the challenge that I have to give you, and you should do it. Alright, look at the picture and video below. Well, this is the picture I have prepared for you based on the video given. You should to, you should to understand, you should to look at it detail, and then next it's a video for you. You should to listen it carefully. You can't stop the video or return again if you don't understand.
And moving on from the campaign to the coronavirus, of course, front and center, a record average of more than 80,000 cases a day now in this country. And here's the map. The start of the outbreak, more daily cases than ever before, the 7-day average up 83% in a month. More than 231,353 lives have been lost. Dr. Anthony Fauci saying that as we head into the fall and winter, we are not in a good place. Here's Steve Osunsami.
Doctors say the numbers haven't looked this concerning since the start of the pandemic, with cases rising tonight in 47 states, and the number of people dying from the disease is rising in 26 states.
The rates of growth are alarming. They seem to be as bad or worse than they were back in the spring.
Dr. Anthony Fauci tells the Washington Post that we're in for a whole lot of hurt, and we could not be positioned more poorly, with families inside from the cold and celebrating the holidays, all great conditions for spreading the coronavirus.
Hang in there. It's going to end, and a vaccine is going to be extremely helpful to us, and it is right around the corner.
It was not a happy Halloween for hundreds of people at 2 parties in New York over the weekend that had to be broken up by police. Most of the people were wearing costumes but weren't wearing masks. A number of states are taking extra steps to keep people safe at the polls tomorrow, including Iowa, where they're offering curbside voting for people who are sick with COVID-19. David.
All right, Steve Osunsami with us. Steve, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for...
Well, thank you. Okay, thank you for looking at the picture and also the video. So here we go. This is your turn. I have 2 big challenges for you. The first challenge is, after seeing the picture provided, now try to find the 4 characteristics that I have given of the news item contained in the image. So I'll read it again. After seeing the picture provided, now try to find the 4 characteristics of the news item contained in the image. Well, and the second challenge is, after watching the video that has been given, try to find the generic structure analysis in the video. So you should to analyze the video based on the generic structure. All right. You can read again, you can watch again this video to learn again about the characteristics, the 4 characteristics that I have explained to you, and then also the generic structure that I have explained to you also. So don't forget, this is 2 big challenges for you. So this is the note. First, do both challenge using the mapping method, and look on the internet for mapping method. So you should do these assignments by using mapping method. You should to find on the internet what is mapping method, how to make it, how to use it, or maybe you need some help. You can find on the internet. I know you are so smart and you are so intelligent, so you can find it on the internet. It's modern. It's modern, yeah. And the third is, the text is done as interesting as possible. You should to make it as interesting as possible on the mapping method itself. And the fourth is, assignments are submitted a week after the materials are given. So don't forget this day. You just have a week to do this assignment. I know you can do it. It's not really hard. It's not really hard. It's just maybe a piece of cake. Well, the next is, your creativity is needed in making assignments this time. You should to be creative to do this big challenge from me. And the last but not least, if you have any other questions, you can contact me. You can contact me and you can ask me what is my number phone. Well, break a leg and see you next time. I have a quote from you. For you. News that is delivered spontaneously is sometimes surprising but not always deadly. Except for the news about him being awaited but deciding not to read it. Well, it's a bit sad. It's a quote from me. Okay. Thank you. And thank you so much for watching this video from the first until the end. I hope that this video can help you to understand about the news item tags. I will give you the link in the description box about the video I have given about the matter of news item tags. If you have any question, you should to ask me, you should to contact me, and I hope we can meet again in another occasion. My name is Hana Theresya Nisa. Goodbye and have a nice day.